Is the Quran a divine book? What are the criteria to verify that? Episode 12, Criterion 7, Part 2. Are there scientific miracles in the Quran? Muslims assert that the Quran contains scientific miracles, with many verses confirming or explaining phenomena recently validated by science, particularly since the 17th century. There are over 14 such claims by Islamists. This episode will focus on presenting the following claims. First claim, embryonic development, where the Quran describes stages of human creation in chapter 23, verses 12 and 14. However, these descriptions contain significant scientific inaccuracies, such as the transformation of sperm into a clinging clot and then into a lump of flesh, with bones forming and then being covered with flesh. These ideas reflect ancient medical beliefs from Indian and Greek scholars, like Galen, who detailed similar stages long before the Quran. Furthermore, the Quran did not acknowledge the female contribution to reproduction, aligning with outdated beliefs that the child existed solely in the man's seed and showing no knowledge of the essential role of the female egg. Second claim, the seven heavens and the layers of the atmosphere. Islamic scholars believe that the seven heavens mentioned in the Quran correspond to the seven layers of Earth's atmosphere, citing the verse, "He who created for you all that is in the earth. Then he ascended to heaven, and he made them seven heavens. And he knows all things." Chapter 2, verse 29. Here is a refutation of this claim. Firstly, Muslim defenders adopted the TEL-FMMII model for short-term forecasts of 7 atmospheric layers, ignoring other models such as the nested grid model, which includes 16 layers, and the spectral model, which includes 12 layers. Secondly, modern science has proven that the atmosphere consists of 5 main layers: the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. These are not 7 layers and are not as described in the Quran as 7 heavens in layers. Furthermore, the Quran mentions in chapter 67, verse 5, that stars adorn the lowest heaven of the 7 heavens, and we adorned the nearest heaven with lamps and made them as missiles for the devils. However, this claim is incorrect because stars are not located in the lower atmosphere of the Earth, and the nearest star to Earth, aside from the Sun, is about 4.2 light-years away. Third claim, the Earth is composed of 7 layers. Islamic scholars claim that modern science has proven that the Earth is composed of 7 layers, which they assert confirms the Quranic verse, "It is Allah who has created 7 heavens and of the earth, the like of them." Chapter 67, verse 12. They interpret these 7 layers as the crust, the upper section of the subcrust layer, the lower section of the subcrust layer, the upper mantle, the lower mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. There is no credibility to this claim because modern science has shown that the Earth generally consists of 4 or 5 main layers, depending on whether we classify the subcrust layer into 2 parts, upper and lower. The most commonly accepted model describes 5 layers: the crust, the upper mantle, the lower mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. It is clear that the Islamic scholars' justification for 7 layers is erroneous, as they artificially double-count the crust and subcrust layers. The fourth refutation, the claim of the speed of light in the Quran. This is one of the biggest misconceptions adopted by Islamists, who asserted that verse 5 in chapter 32 is related to the speed of light. They concluded that light can travel in one day the same distance that the moon travels around the earth in 1,000 years. The verse states, "He arranges each matter from heaven to the earth, then it will ascend to him in a day, the extent of which is 1,000 years of those which you count." Calculations show that the claim about the speed of light in the Quran is incorrect, with a significant difference of about 3,081,000,000 kilometers between the distance the moon travels in 1,000 years and the distance light travels in a day. Verification of these calculations is available on my website www.troandy.uk. The idea of one day equaling 1,000 years is borrowed from the Bible, 2 Peter 3 verse 8, not the Quran. For more details, refer to Chapter 4 of my book Faith Exodus, Understanding Muslim Apostasy. This concludes the episode. I look forward to discussing more claims of scientific miracles in the Quran. To all of you, I extend my best wishes for health and safety. Talal al-Rawendi.